Welcome. In this video, we're going to do a dungeon delve into the Forgotten Temple, a scenario for the Valeria Card Kingdoms Darksworn expansion. So for a setup, just looking in the back of the book, it's going to let us know how to set this up. So during step 2, we're using the dungeon delve here. Step 4, after setting up the initial monster deck, we're going to shuffle all 9 of the shade monsters into the monster deck. And for our setup, we're going to start with 3 gold, 3 strength, 3 magic, and 3 victory points, which I already have set up there. And we also get our, let's take a third action token. So our monsters, I've brought in all the other sets. So I've got the gargoyles and the race. And of course, in this, we are taking out the boss of each of these stacks and the one that has a little 5 up there, unless you're playing with 5 people, I guess. So the gargoyles and the wraith. Then we have some owlbears and a giant, gelatinous cubes and a basilisk, and skeletons and a flaming skeleton, and a bunch of kobolds and a gold golem. And we'll randomize those and set our columns up for citizens. Basically, I just went with my favorites. I think they're the recommended ones. I do swap out the archer, bring her in, or him. So starting out, we've got a skeleton in column 1, another skeleton, some kobolds, gargoyle, and an owlbear. And then we're going to shuffle all 9 of these in and see how they line up for us. Then delving into the Forgotten Temple. So hopefully that's going to thin out, because right now it doesn't fit up in my holder. So well, I guess we do get our 3 blessings, so we'll give that a quick shuffle. 1, 2, 3. Starting with, we can spend 2 victory points to get 5 strength, 4 victory points to return 2 of our characters that have been captured, or 2 victory points to change a die roll plus or minus 1. And now into the Forgotten Temple. So for setup, we're going to give a gem token to each player and place the remaining gems on the storyboard. Shuffle the 5 keeper monsters and all 9 of the shade monsters, not part of the Darksworn saga books, into the monster deck, and each player begins with those resources and that token. So we're going to get to 1 of those. And then 5 more nasty monsters getting shuffled in. So 5 magic, 5 strength, victory point. They're going to get us a token, and we can flip that over. That's kind of nice. So some more shuffling. Eventually I might have to sleeve these, but there's not too much shuffling during the game. All right, the rest of the rules. As an action, a player may return a gem token to the storyboard to discard a card from the monster row, or return 2 captured citizens to the center stacks. When refilling the monster row in the end phase, if a keeper monster fills an open slot, discard a card from the monster row that is not a shade monster. Repeat as needed until all slots are filled in the monster row. Keeper may never discard a shade. And if you're unable to discard a monster, you must discard a card from any stack. All right, so our story coming up. We have gone off course. After the storm breaks, you find that your Carrack is alone in an unexplored sea, far from what you know in Valeria. The colony fleet is nowhere to be seen, and your maps are useless, unless you are to believe the here be sea monsters scrawled in the margin. Just as you're weighing whether to sail on or take your chances to try to return home, the lookout cries, "Land ho!" and you rush to the deck. The island you see through the spyglass is large, mostly forested, and the one mountain has a pillar of volcanic steam rising from its peak. Sailing to the north side of the island to examine this volcano, you discover temple ruins but no islanders. You head for shore to hunt for game and potable water, and perhaps for a chance at adventure. When you are ready to begin, turn the page. I think we're ready. So, descent into darkness. The ruined temple beckons to your adventurous spirit, but the unknown within gives you pause. So, we're going to take the next 10 chamber cards from the book, shuffle them, then discard 7 of those, and return the other 3 to the book. Then turn the page for the first task and chamber. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 goes to a locked door. So every time you play this, you've got different locations to go through. So we'll give this a shuffle and pick 3 to be on top. These get discarded. So what we found is a crypt. Sarcophagus at the center of this ornate but long neglected crypt is open and empty. Instant, all players lose a magic and a strength. Not nice. Then on a roll of a 6, which isn't going to happen, unflip all characters when the task is completed. All right, so that's not happening. Just get the immediate. And the first fight is going to be a Shadow Beast. So 9 magic and 2 fight, and we get to discard a monster when that comes out. And he's in a weapons forge. Forge is hot, and many weapons hang from racks on the walls and from hooks on the ceiling. Every player with less than 10 strength gains 3. So we lost 1 and we gained 3 back. Now on a roll of 6, we're going to banish a card from any stack. Active player gains 2 fight, add 2 strength, add a strength to the task to increase its completion cost. And with that, I believe we are set up to go. So our first dice roll, got a 4 and a 6. 4 does nothing, 6 gets us a strength, and 10 doesn't help. So we are just going to set up. We're going to spend 1, 2 money. We're going to pick up a paladin. So with that, on the first phase, we'll get a strength and 2 magic. Second phase, spend a strength to get 3 magic. I'd like to get a 4, but we don't have that kind of cash. So we'll just spend a fight to take out a gargoyle. So that's going to get us a magic and a victory point. And then in that phase, so the monsters, 4 does nothing, 6, banish a card from any stack. Sorry, Butcher. The active player gains 2 strength. Add a strength to the task to increase it. All right, then back to us. 4 gets us nothing. 6 is going to get us a strength. And the paladin lets us spend a strength to get 3 magic. And then we're going to refill. All players lose up to 2 strength. Found a blight. And next turn. 1, 4, and 5. So 1 and 4 does nothing. Peasant brings us some money. We're going to spend a money along with 2 magic to enlist the aid of a cleric. During the first phase, we get 3 magic. Second phase, 1 magic. And then spend 1, 2, 3, 4 to pick up an archer. First phase, 2 strength. Second phase, 1 strength. Then monsters attack. This is going to hurt. Skeleton knocks on the wall. The blight knocks on the wall. And the owlbear knocks on the wall. Then back to us. Cleric gets us some magic. Archer gets us some strength. And the peasant gets us a money. Nothing's refilling. 2, 5, and 7. 2 gets us nothing, 5 gets us a money, and 7 gets us nothing. We're going to spend 1 money, 1 magic to pick up a rogue. First phase, 2 strength and 2 money. Second phase, a strength and a money. Second action, we're going to spend 4 fight. Take out the owlbear. It's going to get us 2 magic and 2 victory points. Then we're going to take a third action, spending 2 victory points. And we're going to pick up 5 strength. So monster phase, this skeleton hits the wall. Nothing's attacking there. Back to us. 2 is nothing. Peasant brings us a coin, and the rogue coin and a strength. And we're refilling with a death wisp. So whenever we roll a 5, he's just going to attack this column. And next round, well, let's see what this is. Spend a victory point to get 3 money. 4, 5, and 9. So the archer, 2 strength. Peasant, 1 gold. And the 9 gets us a strength. And 2 magic. And with that, we're going to go after the blight. Spending 2 magic and 2 fight. Which can get us 2 resources or flip this thing back over. We're definitely getting a victory point. We'll flip that back over. Second action, we're going to go pray. Spend a victory point to get 3 money. And third action, we're going to spend that 3 money. The 2 plus the 1 to get another paladin. All right, monsters attack. 4 does nothing. This guy takes out a wall. Then back to us. Our archer gets us a strength. Peasant brings us a coin. And this guy's, we've got 2, so we're going to spend 2 strength to get 6 magic. And then refill here. Found a gargoyle. Over here, we can spend 4 victory points to make a wall. Then next turn, 1, 6, and 7. Cleric blesses us with 3 more magic. 6, Knight gets us a strength, and the 7 gets us 2 money and 2 strength. So first action, we're going after the Shadow Beast, so it's going to take 9 magic and 3 fight to take him down. And when we do that, we can discard a monster from the monster row, which is going to be the Death Wisp. Our second action, we are going to take out a skeleton, spending 2 fight. Gets us a coin and 2 victory points. Then monsters activate 1 and 6, so that's banishing a character from any stack. Gonna lose a mercenary. Active player gains 2 strength, and we add 1 to the task, but we've already completed the task. Basically, that just messes people up if you got more players in the game. So monsters have activated, back to us. Cleric's going to get us a magic. Knight gets us a fight, and Rogue gets us a fight and a money. Then refilling our slots. All right, so the keepers, that's going to trigger, if a keeper comes in, discard a card from the monster row that is not a big guy. So we'll get rid of the kobolds, and then we're going to bring in him instantly, discard a character from any stack. Someone's been playing with the mushrooms. We'll blame that on the champion, even though thematically, the butcher might have been doing that. And then over here, a gargoyle jumps in. And this is going to reset, which flips our token over. So we're now going after a Cinepire. Nice. Magic of 5, strength of 7, and discard a monster. And on this one, each player loses a magic because we're in a maze of corridors. Endless corridors lead off in all directions and far off flickering torchlight hints at what awaits you. So on a 6, we're going to banish a character or discard 2 characters, add a magic to the task card to increase its completion cost. And next turn, 4, 6, and 10. So the archer's going to bring us 2 fight, going up to 12. 6, knight's going to bring us a fight, and the 10 is going to get us, since we have 2 of them, 2 fight and 4 magic. So we're going to make quick work of this guy. So we're going to spend 1 fight to take out a gargoyle, which gets us a magic and a victory point. Then we're going after the Centipire with 5 magic, down to 3 and 7 fight. We can discard a monster. We'll get rid of a keeper. Then we're going to take a third action, which is going to be spend 4 victory points to build a wall. Then monsters activate. 4 is nothing. 6 is banish a character. Going to lose a champion. And adding doesn't matter because we've already done that. Then triggering down here, archer gets us a strength. Knight gets us a strength. And he lets us spend 2 strength to get 6 since we have 2 of them. Then we're going to flip this over. So now we need a Sigbin, 6 magic, 4 fight. We get to return one of our characters that's been kidnapped. And we have a locked door. Grizzled and beaten, you stumble upon a locked door. You force it open, hoping it will be an exit. After successfully completing all of your chamber cards, do the following. Turn this page and place it over the setup rules and card on the storyboard. Follow the new setup before proceeding. New rules will override the previous rules. Bring out another blessing. Spend a victory point to get to magic. Then bring out monsters. So we've got a keeper, so we have to discard a monster. We'll get rid of a skeleton. Yes. And that goes into all players lose up to 2 magic from the siphon. And then we bring in a gelatinous cube. So next turn, 6 and 4, we already have it. We're blowing through this thing. 2, 6, and 8. 6 doesn't trigger anything. Yay. 2 doesn't trigger anything. Knight. And 8 gets us nothing. So we're going to spend 6 magic and 4 fight to take care of him. And that allows us to return our butcher. Second action, we are going to spend 2 money to bring in a champion. So first phase gets us 4 strength. Second phase, spend a money to get 4. Now monsters activate. So the siphon's taking out a wall. And 6 doesn't do anything. So back to us, 2, nothing. Knight, strength, and champion. Spend the money to get 4, so we're up to 9. So we're going to flip that over and see what's behind the locked door. All right, so here, new setup rules. Take the next 5 final chamber cards from the book, shuffle them, discard 4, and return 1 card to the book. Shuffle the monster discards back into the monster deck. So we'll start doing that stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give them a shuffle And we'll keep the hatchery. So we're shuffling our discards back into here. And all right, after taking all of your actions, a player may return a token to the storyboard to discard a card from the monster row or 2 captured to the center stacks. When refilling the monster row in the end phase, if a keeper fills it, we're going to banish a card from the monster row that's not a shade, repeat as needed, and so most of those looks the same. If you're unable to banish a monster, we're going to banish a character from a stack. Take another peek at that. Turn this page over and place it into the setup. So it looks like we're fighting that thing again. So add 1 token to the task to increase its completion cost. If none are available, a player must give up 1. Well, so far we haven't spent 1. And then on a 6, we are going to banish a character from any stack, return a card from the monster row, look through the top 3 cards in the monster deck. If you find a keeper, place it in the monster row. If not, all players gain 3 magic and discard unplaced monster cards. All right, so next round, double 4s. So that's going to trigger him. We definitely need magic, so we'll take 2 magic. 4s is going to get us 4 fights since we're activating the archer twice. So up to 13. Then the 8 is going to get us 4 fight. We are a bit low on magic, though. So first task, we're going after the gelatinous cube, so it doesn't activate twice. Spending a magic and 4 fight. That's going to get us 2 coin and 3 victory points. Second action, we're going to pray, spending a victory point to get 2 magic. Go to the monster phase, nothing happens here. 8 doesn't trigger, then back to us, we get doubles. We're going to take a magic. The archer's activating twice, getting us 2 fight. And then we can spend a money to get 4 more fight. And refilling this spot finds us a giant. And we can spend a victory point to get 3 fight. Next turn, 3, 6, and 9. So 3 gets us nothing. 6, the knight provides another fight up to 20. And 9, we're going to get 2 fight and 4 magic. And that's going to give us what we need to finish this thing. So spending 6 magic, down to 3, 4 fight, down to 18, and spend that for there. Allows us to return a card if we need to. Second action, we're going to spend 2 fight, take care of him, which gets us a money and a magic and 0 victory points. Then as a third action, because we can, we're going to spend a victory point to get 3 fight. 1, 2, 3. Monsters activate. 3 is nothing. Here, we need to banish a card from any stack. We're going to get rid of a mercenary. Look through the top 3 cards of the monster deck. If you find a keeper, place 1 in the front row. We found a keeper. And when we put 1 in, we need to destroy another monster. We'll get rid of the giant. And we're discarding unplaced monster cards. And that's going to bring in another keeper, which means we'll blow up the gargoyle. brings in another keeper. We can't get rid of anything because I can't destroy other shades. So we're going to lose a peasant. Then we check end game. So we have succeeded here. So looking on the back of the hatchery, life-saving flames. Light at the end of the tunnel seems so far away as you fight your way through the hordes of monsters. The keepers continue to appear in the shadows, rabid and determined to keep you from escaping or disturbing the Carrion eggs. In a moment of sudden clarity, you raise your shield towards the light and retrieve a small magical gem from your pouch. Place the gem in the light to focus it and begin to beam its heat onto an egg. The egg bursts into flames. The alchemist in your party grabs their water skin and throws it at the fire. First, you're angry that they're trying to extinguish the flame, but then the water skin bursts and the fire burns brighter. Quick thinking, it's some strong hooch there. The keepers pounce on the egg to try to put it out the flames. You see your chance to escape, and you run towards the light at the end of the tunnel. Your crew of surviving adventurers emerge from the dark interior of the temple carrying valuable artifacts wrested from the claws of vile, slightless slayers. The costs were high, and you vow never to visit the temple again. That's probably not a promise I'm going to keep. But as you stride toward the shore and your waiting crew, it occurs to you that there were many tunnels you did not explore, and perhaps there are more treasures to be had. By the time you reach the sailors climbing into the dinghies for the short trip back to your carrack, you've made up your mind. You'll be back. See, I knew that already. So it lets you play Valeria Card Kingdoms cooperatively over and over again. Choose new sets of characters and monster cards each time you play. And this book will give you almost endless adventures. And to increase difficulty during the Descent into Darkness setup, use more than 3 chamber cards, which is probably something I should have done. That went a little smooth. So that is a quick look at the Dungeon Delve for Valeria Card Kingdoms Darksworn. As always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.